In this vid, I'm going to be reviewing a deck by Mypoketubing called Reshiram Typhlosion. I've done one other deck review of a Reshiram Typhlosion deck, but I had a few little twists and turns in the Pokemon line. This is more of a typical, straightforward Reshiram Typhlosion, so this deck list could be great to practice against if you're preparing for a big tournament. Your starter line is pretty good, 2 Cleffa and 1 Tyrogue. With 3 babies though, you run a pretty high risk of being donked, so I would drop that down to 1 Cleffa and 1 Tyrogue, or even 1 Manaphy and 1 Tyrogue. Your draw engine consists of a 2/2 line of Ninetales. Roast Reveal says that when you discard a fire energy from your hand, you get to draw 3 cards. Not only do you get to draw 3 cards, but that provides the energy in the discard pile to then afterburner with Typhlosion. Your Typhlosion line is a 3/1/3, and I would recommend increasing that to a 3/2/3, just in case you're under a Vileplume lock, or your Cool Lava is prized. I've also seen some Reshiram Typhlosion decks that even go higher with a 4/2/4 or 4/3/4 line of Typhlosion, and then they reduce the line of Reshirams and focus on revives. It's something to consider if you have the extra Typhlosion, but for now I think you'll be fine with a 3/2/3. You run the maxed out line of 4 Reshiram, and as we start looking at your trainers and supporters, if you find that you might need a little extra room, you'll probably be safe to go to 3 Reshiram because you can always utilize revives and junk arms to reuse those revives to get those Reshiram back out. Looking at your energy line, you also run Rescue Energy, which is great for Reshiram because that means you can run even fewer of them and still be able to reutilize them again. You run 12 Fire, which I think is a great number. A total of 14 energy in a deck like this that requires you to do a lot of discarding and manipulating with your energy I think is excellent. You have 5 cards for searching out basics, 3 Collector and 2 Dual Ball. If you really want a high number of basic searchers, I would go to a straight 4 Collector, but I think you'll be fine with 3 Collector and dropping the Dual Ball altogether. There are a few other cards I think that need to be added to this deck that could easily take the place of those 2 Dual Balls. Since you're running 3 Typhlosion, you also run 3 Rare Candy. But you also run 3 Junk Arms, so you might be safe dropping your line of Rare Candy down to 2. You'd run 3 Communication, which I think is perfect. You can easily use your Communication to toss away the basics that you just got with Collector in for Stage 1 or Stage 2s. You'd run 3 Reversal, or when it comes out, Pokemon Catcher, but with Reshiram hitting for 120 every turn, you can probably drop that down to 2 and still be pretty safe. You run 2 Revives for getting those Reshiram back out on the bench, but I would still include 1 Flower Shop in case you lose a Ninetales or a Typhlosion due to Pokemon Catcher. I would add in 2 Energy Retrieval so that you can get the energy back from the discard pile to use Roast Reveal to get your hand size up, but then still have the energy in the discard pile to use Typhlosion's Afterburner. A supporter to consider adding to this line would be a 3 to 4 Engineers. You discard 1 energy card from your hand in order to draw 4, which can be great in helping you get set up as fast as possible, but still puts that energy card in the discard pile for Typhlosion's Afterburner. You might also want to consider running 2 or 3 Sage to help find those candies a little faster to set up your Typhlosions. Because of your Junk Arms and Energy Retrievals, you'll easily be able to recover anything that you have to discard. Between Communication and Roast Reveal, I don't think you'll have a problem finding your Stage 1 and Stage 2s, so I think you can drop your Elm completely. I like the 2 Judge to disrupt your opponent a little bit, but since you have the Ninetales on the bench, you'll easily be able to recover if you judge yourself into a bad hand. You currently run 2 Switch, but with a relatively low number of babies, you should be safe in dropping that down to 1, especially if you need a little more room in this deck. I like the 1 Juniper in this deck for discarding your hand and drawing a new one. And depending on what other supporters that you decided to add, like Engineers and Sage, you may be able to drop the Pont as well. However, if you have any spots left, I do like the 2 Pont in this deck, just for a general hand refresher. Reshiram Typhlosion is an extremely strong deck, and I hope making some changes to your trainer and supporter line will help speed it up a little bit. If anyone else would like their deck reviewed, just PM me the list and let me know whether you'd like to be considered for a video review, which will probably go live in about 3 weeks, or if you'd like an immediate feedback via a blog review. Either way, if your deck is not chosen for a video review, you will be getting a blog review. So you'll get some sort of feedback or help with your deck. Thanks for watching!